As of now, the lens research, if you managed to get it done the first day it came out, is available. Technically it should have been available yesterday at some point, but I missed that. And people are talking about it, and the fact that it needs, well, the easiest way to show that by simply actually coming in and, where is it? There it is. If you actually, I think I've got to actually hit replicate on this to bring it up. Mastery rank 8 still does an insane amount of damage. The reason I'm doing this is because I mentioned in clan chat that the build cost of this isn't really that much, considering it takes 10 of these, assuming you don't happen to have 10 actually built like me. I'm not going by what I have, I'm going by other things here. And I'm just taking this weapon as an example. This takes 10 of these. It takes 12 hours to build each. Let's say you timed it perfectly, so you set one off, go to sleep, and then set one off the next day. It doesn't end while you're asleep or not able to get to the computer, so you can have it constantly building. It would still take 5 days to build all 10 of these. Of course, there is a trick to this. As you can see, if I come over here, nope, it's still there, but just Niatan alert. So you go to the machine, you set off one of the fieldron to build, you come back. If there's one there, do the mission. There's one fieldron straight out the go. One Niatan extract straight off. Okay, this one is an Arcwing mission, sadly. I know that, it's the reason it's still sitting on my terminal. An easy one, but I don't have my Arcwing set up for it at the minute, otherwise I would have probably jumped in and done it. The fieldron, however, which is the biggest time consumer of this, because you can get 3 Niatan in 5 days. You can get 3 Niatan in 1 day if you leave the game running and constantly keep an eye on it, or I think it's called the Nexus app for mobile. You can download that and have it alert you whenever Niatan alert pops up. And when there are weapons that have high build requirements that need high numbers of fieldron or detenite injectors or mutagen mass, when I turn around and say that the build costs aren't really that high, it's because you can come in and do things like this. This is a silly feature that people just seem to forget about, and they will actually spend the 5 days building them one after the other, using the lens and the fieldron again just as the example. And of course during that time they can get the Niatan, which is fine. Building them and doing this is pretty much the way to get these parts. There is no other way of getting things like this. But doing this is really useful. If you don't need them, it's also really useful to come in and get pre-built fieldron, pre-built mutagen mass, pre-built detonite injectors. They come in useful for later builds and things like that. The reason I'm saying that is, obviously invasions are really useful. You can count them. There's 1, 2, come out of it, go back in, 3, 4, 5 different missions, each one offering 3 fieldron. The only problem with getting them this way is you don't know when the missions will end. It could last days, it could last hours. There's at least 2 of these that are going to end pretty soon. Despina, and I'm not even attempting that one. So there's 6. You can get pretty easily. So of course, taking the lens as the example again, there are 3, 6, 9, 12, 15 fieldron, built fieldron, available to... Okay, you won't be able to get them right now. Probably in the next couple of days, but it would take less than 5 days to get these. And it's not a case of they're going to cost nothing to get. It takes time to do the missions. Then you don't get them until the invasion has actually ended. Then you are awarded these. But even if you are not currently trying to build them, it's worth picking them up and having them, I'm not going to say stockpiled, but having some pre-built fieldron and detonite injectors and mutagen masses can come in really useful, because then when you need them, they are just sitting there. Doing the invasions is probably the best way of doing this. Plus, it also leads on to Razorback returning, which... Is that really gone all the way around already? He was only here... Actually, it was a while ago now. But he wasn't here that long ago, and... Siding with the Corpus over the Grineer will result in Razorback's return quicker. Same with the Fomorians, siding with the Grineer over the Corpus will make them come back quicker. But during the meantime, between them actually turning up, using this as kind of a farming method to have a stockpile, not a lot of them because they don't really serve a purpose apart from building weapons and researching weapons, having them there for when you do need them can be really useful. And if you don't, again, taking the lens as an example, the time it takes to build them, you're still going to have the time to get the other resources at the same time. Nyatan being the biggest of these. It is a very, very useful feature that a lot of people seem to have forgotten, especially considering they are pre-built. Anyway, we'll leave this off here for now. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch yous next time.